Ever since the start of Season 6, I've been noticing a growing emphasis on relationships in MLP, like the familial relationship between Shining Armor, Cadence, and their new foal that showed us the more interesting aspects of becoming a first-time parent. And I can appreciate seeing the both of them in such an exhausted state and yet still holding on to their love and support for one another. In the same episodes, we got to see Starlight and Sunburst reunite after many years of lonely magic study and cultural revolution followed up by a rip in the space-time continuum. And I can appreciate seeing how the both of them managed to lift each other up and encourage self-confidence. Whether we'll get to see these two interacting again in the near future remains to be seen, but I certainly wouldn't mind if the writers wanted to further develop their friendship. Even during Gauntlet of Fire, we finally got to see Spike form a bond with another dragon. And I can appreciate seeing not only how much Spike was able to help Ember find merit in friendship, but also how Ember's stance on determination and fortitude has its place as well. More and more, the MLP staff are focusing on relationships in the episodes, and I really want to see what else they come up with. And then we were introduced to Zephyr Breeze, and his stuck-up, egotistical interactions with one Rainbow Dash. And you know what? I actually want to see more of this as well. But not for the reasons you're probably thinking. You see, I believe there is a golden opportunity for the MLP staff to address a rather poignant topic in a future episode centered around Rainbow Dash and Zephyr. Watching Flutterbrudder for the first time, I couldn't help but feel uncomfortable during Zephyr's constant excuses for avoiding work and his eventual low point where he finally had to admit his failings. And the resulting change of heart, however small it may have been, since I'm sure Zephyr still has a lot of learning ahead of him, left quite the impact on the audience. With this in mind, I actually want to see a future episode where Zephyr still believes that Rainbow is pining over him, and the inevitable conflict that follows. I mean, Rainbow was visibly dumbfounded by Zephyr's claims about hiding her true feelings for him, doubly more so when even his parents seem to believe it. Can you imagine an episode where Zephyr spreads this idea all over Ponyville, and Rainbow's reactions when even her friends start asking whether it might be true? Wouldn't take long for Rainbow to reach the boiling point, don't you think? But aside from the entertaining expressions the animators could come up with for this scenario, there is a very real lesson that both the characters and the audience could take from this conflict. Fluttershy would attempt to keep her brother from spreading false rumors while at the same time trying to keep Rainbow from blowing her top over the resulting gossip. She would absolutely understand why Rainbow was getting upset over the situation, and yet at the same time trying to keep her brother from being deeply hurt over the truth being brought to bear. Because there really isn't an easy solution to such a scenario. Zephyr is most certainly in the wrong for making such grandiose assumptions and allowing his ego to get the better of him, and Rainbow would need to set things straight between them. But how do you address such a sensitive topic without completely destroying a person's self-confidence? Especially when it was Fluttershy and Rainbow who actually started him down the path of self-reliance in the first place and wouldn't want to see him regress to that self-destructive comfort zone. And in Zephyr's case, how does one learn to respect the feelings of others above the need for validation? In essence, I believe it would come down to how much you can bring to a relationship rather than receive. And this is the kind of lesson that Fluttershy could help teach to the both of them. Rainbow would need to better understand that reacting with anger, as well placed as it would be in this situation, wouldn't help Zephyr grow from the experience. And Zephyr would take another baby step towards becoming more empathetic to the feelings of those around him. It would be yet another episode that really makes the audience step back and consider their own life in a meaningful way. A very hard-wrought lesson, that's for sure, but I for one have the most respect for MLP when it's taking chances with their stories, pushing the boundaries with their characters and conflicts. And at least with this kind of setup, the MLP staff could address the topic of relationships without anyone's waifu being stolen in the process, which in turn keeps the fan drama to a minimum. Definitely more of a win-win for the community. But what do you think? Would it make sense for Zephyr to make a return to the series with what's already been set up in his first appearance? Would Rainbow's over-the-top reactions and Fluttershy's subsequent role as mediator fit with their strengths as characters? And would the resulting lesson be a worthwhile discussion for the audience? I would like to hear your thoughts on these ideas, and here's hoping we get some more episodes that push the boundaries in MLP's future. I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.